In this video, I'm going to show you 25 positive terms indicating the right answer. Let's start with the first option. Here is coach. You might encounter a situation, and among the options you find that the project manager is going to coach the team member. So this is an indication that the option is correct. Alternatively, you can find mentor or guide, and all this means that the project manager is using the servant leadership, and most probably this option is correct. The fourth term is discuss. If the situation involves many stakeholders and there is a problem and things should be discussed, this option could be right as well. If there is a problem within the team, you need to discuss with that team member. So discuss is a key word that could indicate a right answer. The next word is support, and same if the situation involves having conflicts or having a team member facing some difficulties. This is a positive keyword. Support the team member is something good, and most probably this is a good option as well. Also here, collaborate means that the project manager will try to resolve issue and involve the stakeholders to resolving these issues and help the stakeholders, including team members, through collaboration. This is a good technique and a good keyword that if you find it, the option could be correct as well. The next one is consult, and here consult if the situation involves some uncertainties, consulting the other experts and consulting the department, consulting the functional manager in some cases. This is also indicating a good course of action, but always be careful of what to consult and who to consult and what's the situation. But in general, that's a good thing. Okay, the next one is listen. If you are in a situation and you are facing a problem or you overheard about something, try to listen from that party directly. So listen to the feedback, listen to the concerns of the people around you. So listening is good thing, and this is a good keyword that when you face, most probably it indicates a good and a correct answer. All right, the ninth term is analyze. When you are facing a situation, before making any decision, you need to analyze the situation. So analyzing is a good option in so many cases. If you find that the project manager needs to analyze the situation and also evaluate or assess, these are all related and indicates that the project manager is actively trying to resolve the issue and trying to understand and collect data in order to make an informative decision. So these are good keywords as well. The next one is explore. Same here, the project manager could explore other alternatives, could explore more the consequences, the impact of the risk. So this is also have good meaning. The next keyword is check. The project manager could check some documents before making a decision. They could also review some documents or refer to some documents. So these are also close in terms of meaning, and they indicate that the project manager is trying to collect more data, trying to adhere to the processes, so they can check the plan, they can check the contract, they can review the project charter or review the team charter. All these are a good course of actions. Okay, the next term is explain. And here, in some cases, the project manager need to educate stakeholders. They need to explain to them the processes. For instance, since the Scrum Master is the one who needs to implement the Scrum practices and principles, they need to explain these principles to the team, to the product owner, to the stakeholders, to anyone involved in the project. So that's why explain in certain cases could indicate the right option. All right, so the next one is encourage. And of course, here the project manager is encouraging the team, and nothing bad in encouragement. So encourage the team is something good and indicate that the project manager is playing a servant leadership role. And that's a good indication for a right answer. The next one is negotiate. This is especially when there is situation of conflict. Instead of moving to the other conflict resolution types, you start with negotiations and you start to reduce the differences by negotiating. And this is something good, as I said, in conflicts. But keep in mind that if you are in the case of having a situation and you have different options, one of collecting information or reviewing documents and the other about making decisions, try to prioritize those with reviewing documents and reviewing the situation and listening from everybody before trying to, negotiate the contract terms, for instance. Try to collect data first. So as a rule, these are all good terms that indicates the right answer, but it's not 100%. It's not like guaranteed. You need to check the situation and understand the different options. Okay, the next one is include. When you find the project manager include the department or include the sponsor in a decision or something, that's a positive course of action because most probably you are going to find in the situation that the project manager did something or they faced something and try to make decisions without involving the other party. Among the options, you will find that the project manager include the other party, and that's indication of right answer. Keep remembering that stakeholder management and communication management is very important in the exam. You will find a lot of questions about that, and including all stakeholders in your communication, in your course of actions is always recommended. And this is a good keyword that illustrate this concept. The next one is involve, which has the same meaning as include. And next is reach out, which also means that you are going to talk to the other stakeholder and try to inform them about the situation or ask for their feedback. So this is a good keyword as well. Next is adhere, and this indicates that you are going to adhere to the processes. Most probably you find a project manager, you find a situation, and within that situation, it gives you an illusion that not adhering to the processes of the organization is a good thing. So don't listen to your emotions. Following the project management principles is always recommended. You need to adhere of the set processes of the organization. This is a must-have for the project manager. If there is a problem with following or adhering to the process, then escalation is the appropriate course of action. But keep in mind that escalation happens only when you don't have the power to change things. In this case, if you are not having the power to change the process of the organization, which is mostly the case, the project manager is not asked to change the organization's processes. It's out of his control, and adhering to the processes is a must. If the processes is considered the problem itself, then escalation should be the right option. But always keep that in mind because this is a tricky somehow. Escalation is only in certain cases when you don't have power. You will find escalation in so many other situations where the project manager could take actions. So in those cases, escalation is not correct. Okay, let's move on to the second term, which is prioritize. Okay, so this is good thing. This is good thing for certain cases. To prioritize what adds value, to prioritize the most risky events and try to treat them over the other minor events, etc. So prioritization is a good term. But be careful here again, because the agile project manager doesn't have the power of prioritizing user stories. It's the product owner role. So be careful if you find in the options what the project manager should do, and you are running an agile project and there is a product owner in the situation or the customer in the situation. Maybe it's not your role as project manager to prioritize, but in other certain cases, you could prioritize things. So this is positive term, but be careful. The next term is empower, and this one is almost true, If you find empower, and the options, I'd say that 99% is correct, because the project manager should empower the team, should give them the freedom to make decision, and thus will become more productive, and they will rely on themselves, and that will be in the advantage of the project. So empowering the team is very a good term, and the project manager should always empower their team. The last term is facilitate. We know that the project manager is a facilitator. In so many cases, you are not the one who should make decisions. You are not the one who should dictate what should be done. So your role is facilitating decisions, is to bring all parties to the table and to try to understand everyone, try to foster a good environment that leads to the success of the project. Okay, so these are the different terms. Most probably when you find these terms, the option is correct. But as I said, you need to also go to the situation and understand the option, understand the different alternatives. That would help a lot. Hopefully that helps. And if you find other keywords that you'd like to share with other PMP aspirants as well, you can add in the comments.